What's up, everybody? Aaron from Aaron Unwinds here with another episode of Aaron Unwinds. We continue our way through the Friday the 13th series with Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. My review will be in 2D. Directed by Steve Miner. Here's one of the posters right here. 1982. It's a year in the 80s, so almost every year in the 80s has a Friday the 13th. So this one, once again, it's a little bit different. It's about a bunch of teens, in the summer, or younger people going out to a camp, so to speak, but not exactly a summer camp this time. They're just at Camp Crystal Lake, just hanging out. That's the synopsis for this movie. So far through the first two, I've enjoyed both of them. I thought the first one was better than I think some people give it credit for. And, the second one, I think, kind of set what was to come, but at the same point, had a little bit of a lack of fun. I think that this one, for the Aaron Unwinding purposes, I think serves a little bit better, actually. It might not be the better movie, but I think if you're just looking for a movie to kind of put on, not have to really pay too much attention to, tune in and out of some, funny kills and overall good characters, I think the characters of this one are the best so far of the three. Jason finally gets the hockey mask in this one, which is cool. He's not Baghead Jason anymore after he gets it from Shelley. But, I'll just kind of give an overview of the movie and how I felt about it all. First of all, this one has the most unwinding going on in it. I'll say that. There's 3 different stoner characters in this movie, not just the standard one. So Chili and Chris, and then a few others partake as well. But Chili and Chris are the stoner characters. I'd be remiss not to mention them. Shelley, probably one of the more famous characters from one of the crews in one of these movies. I really liked him. I thought he was really funny. He's definitely got a very interesting look, played by Larry Zerner. He's an actor in the movie, so a lot of the movie he's kind of, if you've seen Clowns in a Cornfield, they have a lot of like pranks where it's like, because the kids are pranksters, they don't know if it's real or not, type of thing. A similar thing goes on with Shelley in this movie, which they set up, I think, which is clever. And he's kind of annoying a lot of the crew as it goes along, but his effects are so good that the people in the movie can't tell if they're real or not, which ends up coming into how he dies in the end of the movie, which is pretty clever because throughout the movie he has all these different pranks and whatever that don't get him a lot of attention. So, once they realize that, it's just a prank, he has an axe through his head, he sneaks up on people, a bunch of other ones. So, he's set up with another girl, Vera, who's very much out of his league. And then, after a while, Vera's just like, it's not going to happen. And he goes and pranks her in the lake at one point, and then he has the hockey mask on, and she's just like, oh, get out of here. And he leaves. And when he leaves, a wallet that she has falls into the lake. And then all of a sudden, back comes now Jason, a different person, obviously not Shelley, different clothes, way bigger, different body type. And all of a sudden shoots Vera in the face with a crossbow. And so that's the first kill with the Jason mask on that he has. That is kind of interesting because he doesn't really shoot a whole lot of people in this franchise. And it's the first kill with the Jason mask. His first kills overall in the movie are some bikers that Shelley and Vera run into at the convenience or liquor store, and then they have a little run-in with them. Shelley gets his window smashed. They follow them back, and they're going to burn the barn after siphoning some gas, the motorcycle gang of 3. And then they go into the barn, Foxy, the woman of the gang, and another, and that's where they both get pitchforked by Jason, who still has his bag on at this point. The Foxy, the woman of the gang, getting pinned up by her throat to the barn and just staying there, not sliding, not, just sticking in place. And then the other guy gets stabbed in the stomach. And overall, the kills, they're pretty decent in this movie. It's really just kind of really is like even more of a hangout movie than the last movie. Shelley ends up, his demise is interesting because, again, he gets his throat slit when Jason takes the mask and goes to kill Vera. But when he goes back to the house to ask Chili, the stoner girl, for help, she just kind of is like, whatever, ignores. And so he just dies, with no one really even paying attention to him. And that's kind of like one of the issues with Shelley throughout the movie. So it's like really kind of a sad death there. The other part of this movie that I don't want to forget about is the 3D. There's like all these moments where if you like in your face 3D, if you like that, you got a whole lot of that in the movie, from bats to, gardening devices and whatnot. And yeah, it's just overall, this movie's just a good time. The other characters get killed in a variety of ways. Andy and I believe Chris, after they're done having sex, Andy's walking around on his hands and gets killed for some reason. There's that. There's just all sorts of crazy, kills. Then towards the end of the movie, our main lead, Chris, I should say, ends up, it was Andy and Debbie, not Andy and Chris. Our main lead, Chris, ends up being the last remaining with Jason, and Jason gets an axe to the mask. That's how we get the iconic crack in the Jason hockey mask. And he kind of just goes forward and freaks out, and then eventually goes down. And Chris gets away in the boat into the middle of the lake, of course, and wakes up in the morning. Everything seems fine. Out of the lake pops Mrs. Voorhees, dead zombie Mrs. Voorhees, still in her blue sweater, grabbing and bringing Chris into the lake. And that's the end of the movie. We get that disco, like, Jason theme again from the beginning of the movie. That was really, really great. And that's gonna do it for the review here. Let's go ahead and get to those ratings. All right, so this one from ratings perspective is going to be one of my bigger differences in ratings so far, probably. As an actual movie, honestly, it's pretty mediocre. And there's really good music. We finally get the mask, but honestly, it's kind of, it's all right. It's a little bit easy to tune out of, and not a lot's happening, as Abby said as she tuned in and out watching this movie. I'm going to give it 2 videotapes here. It's probably the worst of the first 3 movies from a true movie perspective. The enhanced rating, though, the reason we're all here, how good is this movie to put on? Pack a bowl, pack 2 bowls, pack a bong, like Chili and Chuck. I'd say it's pretty damn good. I'd say this is the best of the 3 to put on if you're in the right state of mind. So I'm actually going to double this. For the first time, we got history here on Aaron Unwinds. 4 pot leaves out of 5 for this one. Not a great movie, good stoner movie in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to continuing the journey with the Friday the 13th series. We'll be back for Friday the 13th Part 4. Before we take off, join us for the Letterboxd Challenge. Why We Love Horror Letterboxd Challenge 2025. You can find it on my page, Abby's page, or John's page, or search for the list there. 52 prompts for some really great movies. We just did Slow Burn. This upcoming week is a horror movie revolving around drugs. So I'd say the Aaron Unwinds crowd is the right crowd for this challenge, and especially this week. And yeah, we have a ton of great prompts there. Every Monday, John versus with John and Will. Tuesday, Why Liv Loves Horror, when she decides to do it because she's a star. Wednesday, Aaron Unwinds, you're here. Thank you for supporting the show, and we will continue. Lists coming in the future. Thursdays, Why We Love Horror, Letterboxd Challenge, Watch Along Show. For whatever reason, John has trouble saying that. With all the stupid titles he comes up with, he has a problem with my title. But whatever. Great show. The title explains what it is right there. John, myself, and Abby talk about our movies each week based on the prompt for that week in a little more depth. And then Fridays, Why We Love Horror Trivia. 2 trivia videos each week on there. And Why We Love Horror True Reviews dropping whenever we see the movies. So keep those notifications on, like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.